Hey, so I have this box from University of Illinois at Chicago when I was a student, and have basically some classes. Well, here I think this was from a class that I took when I was in Japan. So, because there's some Japanese history, so I think that's what that's from. Here I have a whole bunch of classwork, so it looks like I was doing pretty good as a student in a computer science course way back in like 2007, 2008. So I was doing computer logic. I got some math classes. That was my schedule. So I had computer science, economy, math, computer science, and I did, my first semester I actually got a 4.0. Second semester I did really poorly. I think I only got a 2.0 my second and averaged out 3, so, and that was because I was going through something more difficult psychologically at the second semester. So I have a bunch of these old papers that I'm about to throw into the recycles. It's still cool stuff that I have done, so don't know. Computer science stuff. Econ test. So anything from the 2012 I probably wouldn't have done necessarily as good, but the 2007 fall, I think, is when I got pretty much did everything really well, like perfectly. And this was before I joined the military. So I joined the military in 2008, towards the end of the year, and then got out basically in 2012, and I actually went back to school and did pretty decent as a, I don't think I did well in this class because that was the spring semester. I don't know what a 10 was anyway. But yeah, here's a story about this, which I'll probably make a video on, was I actually proved my computer science professor wrong in middle of class. So he was teaching one of these classes, and we took a quiz, and it was about like binary tree. It was about like log base 2 of binary trees. See, I wasn't doing so good that that semester at all. I was not doing so hot that semester and I was taking the train every day all the way from the suburbs to Chicago and back every single day, and I wasn't actually really concentrating on school. Your mind works a lot better if you are able to get like good exercise and stuff too, by the way. I've noticed that is more true than maybe even I even understood at the time. Man, this stuff is so old. I don't even barely remember it. But yeah, data structures. So my teacher, the story goes, my teacher was teaching us about binary trees. One of the questions on the quiz was, if you have a binary tree of pennies, and you put plus signs between them in pairs, and then add each layer of the tree until you have one addition left, and then you want this, how many pluses does it take to combine all the pennies? And I figured out it was just linear. It was basically like if you have n pennies, it might take like n minus 1 pluses. Well, I figured since he was teaching about binary trees, maybe he thought the answer was like log base 2 of n. And sure enough, when I go up in the middle of the class, I say, you think the answer is B, but I think it's C. He's just like, what? No. And then I argue with him like after the class, and even another student comes and argues, and then against me. And then one day, like the next lecture, we go to class. See, I was turning stuff in late and stuff like that semester. Let's try to find the 2007 semester. But long story short, what? Anyway, flawless. Okay, so I did good on whatever this was, so long story short, I proved him wrong, I guess, because he came back to class and he showed a simulation. He was just like, oh, Tim was right. It is, you know, linear. That's what you call when the answer is just n instead of like n squared or log base 2 of n. If you just have n, it means linear. So he's just like, oh, it is linear. And he had like this whole simulation to show it. And I was just like, okay, like you would have given people, see, I didn't, like, to me at the time, and how I usually am as a person is I don't take pleasure in just being right or wrong. I don't care who's right or wrong. I don't like being the person who's right even. All I care about is that people get things right. That's what I like. So whether it's me or other people, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter who figures it out or whatever. It's just, I want, well, it does matter who figured, like, it does mean something if you're able to figure it out. But it's not like what bothered me about that was if I hadn't spoken up, and what caused me to speak up was my own, like, decision. Nobody would have taught me, yeah, you should speak up like that. Why do I have these? These are weird. I don't know why I have these. These are like cheap stuff. These are plastic, so I probably can't recycle that. Well, actually, plastic is recyclable, so yeah. I guess there probably are maybe some recyclable plastic. So, what bothered me about that was basically if I hadn't spoke up, people would have not. Who's that? Well, now everyone knows her address and Gmail and all that or whatever. I have no idea who that is. Lecture notes. Not that anyone would care. Wow, all this math and stuff in this notebook is just freaking so much. And yeah, it's just a weight. All this old homework and stuff is just an extra weight on me. Here we got, see, I even put tabs and saved all this homework as if I was going to keep it forever or give it to someone to read through or something like that. But it's, even though it's specific to me and my history, oh, now you guys can copy my signature. I'm not that interested in keeping anything that doesn't have value that's going to necessarily last. So I'm just going to make a video of it and maybe just capture some things, and if somebody's interested. And some of it will be lost because I'm not recording every single page, but at least I have something to remember it by. So maybe I should put sad music or happy music to it or something so that people are like, no, I'm throwing it out forever. But 99% of the people on this planet won't care. Yeah, I don't even know where the, oh, so I see. So this was actually the year that I was doing really good. I don't know why. Tesla versus Edison, yes. Yes. I love how they talk about Tesla versus Edison in my homework. That's so cool. Or was it in that homework? Does electricity get distributed? That is cool. I love that. That is actually something that I appreciate. Frequency. Yeah. I think there was just some basic, like this class, I don't think was that hard. You just had to learn like a few formulas or something, and then you got transistors. So basically my 2007, you see all the ECEs, electrical and computer engineering, for those who don't know what that means. And CS stands for computer science. So my 2007 fall semester was actually I was studying, that was my major. I was in electrical and computer engineering. And then I switched to computer science. And that's when I started doing really bad. Not because I didn't like computer science, but just because just all these different things added up. It's hard to explain, but I just wasn't doing well mentally. That is not me, so I don't know what that is. I think either that's had to have been like a friend's homework or some other person that I did a. Oh, I think it's. My guess is that we did group projects, because I think we did that when we did labs or something. You would have like 2 or 3. Station 11. Okay, so they probably did it by grouped people by station or something. Maybe, I have no idea. I did so well this semester. See how I'm just 20s on everything. And then I also did good on the tests too. So it's so easy though. Like, it's just like, what does the AND gate give you? 0s and 1s. So easy. So stupidly easy. I mean, maybe it's not that easy. Still, like, just looking back, it's just, this stuff is simple. It's not like advanced, theoretical mathematics, you coming up with new proofs, doing like a PhD thesis and all that. Nothing like that. This is just freshman year college stuff. So, what is this? EC1. I apparently did bad on this little quiz. I think this had to do with linear algebra. Yep. Linear algebra. How lovely. And what's funny is I'm actually an advocate for using quaternions in 3D games, which uses linear algebra. I'm not really an advocate of anything. I'll just say I understand it enough to be able to kind of try to piece things together to get like a 3D game rotation to work in 4-dimensional rotational space, or whatever you want to call it. That's not easy, because it's not easy to just know that something's going to work. You kind of have to test it and be like, yeah, that looks like it works. If you don't understand the linear algebra that well. Cool. So that was like all my engineering stuff. And what this is. Second stuff. Okay, so I had Sarmiento. I did pretty good on Chang views Moses as a heartless jerk because of him, houses, rocks. Okay, anyway. We had this book that we had to read called Can't Stop, Won't Stop, and I just wrote papers about it, and just, I don't care. It was a cool English class, I guess. It was about like hip-hop and how hip-hop like affected our culture or something like that. So, Africa Bambaataa. See, about some weird stuff, I guess. Copies of a book, which I'm not going to show too much of that, so I don't get control for copyright. Yep. So, start more books. Okay. I'm done with English. Now we got some math. Math 180. Apparently this is a calculus class or something. Must have done well in it because I got an A in all my classes, so I think I got an A in this class too. Back in 2007. Can you believe that? So long ago. Here's more hundreds. Just did like perfect on this stuff. So, and then my grades averaged out to a 3.0 instead of 4.0 because I had to take, instead of joining the military right away, I had to take one more semester, didn't I? But who needs perfect grades? I don't care about them anymore. All I care about is the truth. So somebody can have the worst grades in the world, and somebody can have the best grades in the world, and somebody can not have zero education, and someone can have lots of education. And the only thing I care about is how good they are at working with what they've had, I guess. Which means you're not trying to produce grades. You're trying to produce solutions to the world's problems. That's what you're trying to produce. So if you sacrifice grades to solve the world's problems, then kudos to you. Because that's what the schooling is for anyway. So I guess I didn't write code for that one, so I lost 10 points. I remember Professor Bremer. Probabilities. Well, that's it. That's only 15 minutes of an iPhone quality video, and that's pretty much my University of Illinois at Chicago freshman year. Getting recycled. Oh, okay. See you guys later. Okay, I don't know why it stopped recording, but basically you don't want... Oh, is my battery low? Yeah, okay. I don't know why it like seems like it records sometimes. Now, a more interesting project that he gave me, and by the way, I just threw out a collapse conjecture thing. A more interesting thing that he gave me was this proposal to make this type of concrete. So crack-free concrete basically is the idea. And the idea is that water, once you have 0.3 like nanometers to 1 nanometer, water becomes ice no matter what. Even if it's at room temperature, it's going to be ice between these larger pieces of concrete particles. So the idea is to get the right distribution of small particles and mix them together. So you make one shovel full of small particles, one shovel full of medium particles, or whatever, until you basically get something that's not going to crack because it's going to have extreme strength. So if you actually have ice between two particles, they're not going to break apart and crack. So that's the idea, is concrete usually cracks because there's nothing really holding it together, there's nothing really pulling it together. And so you want water holding it together. So I don't know if those ideas are necessarily that viable in the way that he was thinking. Maybe since he studied physics, he was a physics professor, maybe his concrete idea was more realistic for what he was trying to do. But the genetic algorithm, I do believe it's a valid core idea. I just believe that he didn't understand that his approach to it was completely wrong. Like here we were talking about white space and removing white space or whatever, things like that. And yeah, so you could definitely do something like he was thinking, but he just definitely didn't. He wasn't aware of the terminology and the research that had already gone into that exact type of research. So anyway, his name was Professor Alfred Hubler, and he was at the University of Illinois, and my friend informed me that he passed away from having cancer, and I guess he hadn't really talked with anyone about that. So that's it. Thanks, guys. Hey guys, I've been basically going through a whole bunch of papers to recycle them. Now, I'm going to show you a handwriting of someone who passed away. He was a physics professor at University of Illinois, and I worked for him for just a very little amount. It wasn't anything special, and I never took a college level physics class, but he was using me for, I guess, my mathematical or computer science knowledge. So here you see his handwriting. He's talking about trying to come up with a way to essentially make a genetic... He didn't really know what genetic programming was, I don't think, but I think he wanted to make like a genetic algorithm for producing Python code. So he was saying, well, what if we start with some symbols and, you know, do some stuff like this. And I wanted to explain to him that I tried to explain to him and even did this test to show him that, like, if you try to iterate through all possible characters and then compile them as Python programs, 99% of them are going to be invalid. And it's a very, very inefficient way to do it. In fact, more than 99%. Also, there's going to be a lot of overlapping, you know, there's going to be like this overlapping, what do you call it, functionality, like forgot the term for it, but you're going to have, and then it's going to be hard to get some functionality with very minimal amount of code that you could otherwise get with some other methods. So if you want to do something like that, you want to use a language like Lisp, and you want to... Okay, so I still have my Illinois Leadership Center certificates, and I threw out all the classwork stuff, and I also threw out some stuff from when I went to Kentucky. Okay, I tried to do this with my phone plugged in, but I guess I'll have to do it with 18%, which means we're gonna have to go fast. So, Math 441, looks cool, math cool, time's up. CS 357 and Math 441 when I dropped them in spring 2015. Here's 357, it's linear algebra, it has some pretty cool questions. See if you can think of the answer to like one of those questions. Yeah, that was the class. Here's 441, see if you understand it. That's somebody else's handwriting, I think. And I think I basically had dropped that semester. I forgot why I dropped the last semesters. And something dropped outside, so I need to go pick it up. Oh, yay. How lovely. Stay! Stay. Don't want stuff getting wet. Okay. Anyway, let's keep going. Kinesiology 100, cool, we don't care. Japanese 200, cool. I dropped the kinesiology. I dropped all of spring 2015. That was not a good year. It was probably because of finances. So that's that. That was fun. Here's Math 412 from fall 2015. Apparently I didn't drop that one, maybe. I don't know. Here's, oh, I love that. That's 412. That is graph theory. This is graph theory. I already got rid of the book, but the book was awesome. Coolest book ever, and I would have kept it, but don't have the money and have to sacrifice everything to whatever, survive or live or do stuff or whatever. But there's no way I'm going to keep paying for a storage facility indefinitely. So here's fall 2015 CS 450. So it was a harder, I think it was like analysis of something more advanced linear algebra analysis type class. I don't remember if I passed it or not. Got tons of books. Here's a book with 357, 463. I don't even know what those numbers mean anymore. Well, 357 I know is linear algebra. Here's more stuff. Just stuff. Here's more stuff. Math 441. I like math, and apparently it takes somebody 1 second to decide that you're not good at math with one glance to one piece of paper about your history. So I don't care. I did bad on that one, so that sucked because that year probably was hard. Here's my favorite class. I did good in this. I scored in the top 1/6 of the class just counting test scores. It was algorithms course, so fundamental algorithms. We did a lot of the homework and quizzes and stuff online, like on the internet. So I don't know what I was drawing right there. That was fun. So that's that. Math 415. So here's fall 2014. So we're going back in time, I guess. It's some other linear algebra stuff. I think. I don't know the difference between 357 and 415. I think this was just regular linear algebra, and 357 was like numerical analysis, and then the other one, 450, was like a further numerical analysis thing. So we're gonna get rid of all that. Here's some Calc 3 stuff. 241. Apparently I took it in spring 2014, and I think I took Calc 2 like twice or three. Actually, I took it 3 times total in my life. Astronomy 100. This was fun. I enjoyed it. It was really cool. That's that. Japanese 201. Cool. I don't care. That's... You can see I took that in the summer of 2014. This was fall of 2013. The math and the geography class that I took. So we have the linear algebra, and we have the business locations stuff. That was a cool class because it taught us about why Walmart likes to place themselves away from everyone else, and why McDonald's likes to place themselves close to everything else. So apparently I didn't do good on whatever that one was. So fall 13. See this one, Kinesiology 107. Okay. Oh, that's... Anyway. Math 347, fall 2013. Okay. Remember, this is going through me playing a lot of Minecraft too at the same time, because I played a lot of Minecraft. Ton of Minecraft. This was a lot of stuff to read. Oh, I remember that class. It was an English class. Yeah, it was just too much stuff to read. I couldn't even read it. That wasn't fun. Math 231, Calc 2, Anders. So this was the second time I took Calc 2. The first time I had this professor named Gilbert, and she was pretty cool. But I just didn't do well. But I liked her. So that was that class. I think I just made a better score than I took it the first time or something. So it's 241. This was the class, I forgot the professor's name, but he basically taught like to make functions, like just 4 lines of code or something. And then it was just kind of these general, like, I didn't like the class. A lot of people liked the class. It was like their favorite class, but I didn't like it. Wait a minute. 241. Yeah. So you didn't actually make your own operating system. It was more just... No, sorry, this is the wrong class. 241, this one was about... This was the computer science version of an ECE course where you make your own operating system, and this wasn't the one that taught you good, like, programming math. This is the one that was teaching, like, how to do some low-level C stuff. I wrote something about Minecraft. That's what I write. Info on playing Minecraft. Siggy quit? What? I did okay in that course, I think. But I didn't like most of the problems. My friend who went to work for Google, he was better at like the more system stuff, but when it came down to like the parallel merge sort, I think I had that one down. And I knew what I was doing. This one, I don't know what this is. Leisure services. Oh yeah, it was basically about the leisure business. This was like my favorite class ever. CS 373, Theory of Computation by Viswanathan. This math was like the coolest stuff I've ever read like, in my life. I loved it. Like I loved learning about this stuff because it was about everything that you could possibly do with the computer in theory. So there's certain things that you could never do, and there's certain things that you can do given an infinite amount of time and memory. So even if you have infinite time and memory, there's like certain things that like, you won't be able to do with the computer. Or I should say not infinite, but like unbounded. So you can keep using as much memory as you want, and you can keep using as much time as you want, but you won't be able to do certain things. Anyway, so much here. History 172. Math 231 with Gilbert. Yep, I remember that. CS 398 with Zillis. He was a good teacher. He donated stuff to the university. He was smart. CS 225 Cinda. I love this course. I don't know why my phone. Okay, back. My phone had run out of stored memory. So anyway, I had helped a Japanese student and a whole bunch of other people who went through this class. I think there was even some girls who liked me when I was taking this class. I don't know why. I guess it was because I had just gotten out of the army, so I was still not, that fat yet or something. But I got fat quick, so I gained like 30 pounds in this one semester. Let's see. But yeah, my friend from high school actually taught the class in the summer, so he had perfect grades in high school. So that class was pretty great. I really liked it. It was fun. It was good. It was like the most fun class ever. That teacher was cool. This was fall of 2012. She had a lot of slides, so this is just homeworks and final exams and stuff like that. And nobody cares because there's always a new one. So you can, once one's out, you get the old one. So there's a final exam if you want to try it. This one is actually one from 2009 that I guess they had published. So that's that. Yes. Oh, this was a class about taught by a guy from some, I forgot what you call them, but Polynesian islands, I think. But the class was supposed to be about like Native Americans, but he kind of changed it to be more about Polynesian islands and stuff like that. So I forgot. I think it was called American Indian Studies. And he was from like, well, I think he liked me because he knew I was in the army and he knew army guys or something. So then we got more of these, I guess, notebooks. So notebooks. Oh, man. All 2012 notebooks. Oh my goodness. Good thing it's still recording. Okay. Thought it was gonna run out. Notebooks. Marco Kakamo, I remember him. Spring 2013. Wow. That was a math class that I took. Oh my goodness. I need to show this to my mom so she knows how much math I was doing. So much. This is all like homeworks and stuff. So there's that. I guess this was some Japanese. So, and some more math, I guess, for this one. Yep. So this is a lot of handwritten stuff from me. And I guess it's all going to be recycled because I don't really have the storage for it. But I figured I'd take some videos and kind of keep it in history of it on video so that people know what it was that I went through those years. Alright, see you guys later. Okay guys, think of this as like a really old Carpenter's version of XKCD. It's called Wordless Workshop, and you can look at it and it's like this guy thinks of a problem that his wife has and then like fixes it. See how he like, yeah. So here's one, and then the cartoon just keeps going, like there's a bunch of them. Here's another one. So here's another one. You can pause it if you want to see it. If you think it's cool, here's another one. He puts the rollers, that's pretty funny. He makes a little bicycle repair thing. And makes a mobile bookshelf / reader, book reader display. And let's see here. An irrigation system. Let's see. Something that drips, that lets his wife hold jars up at the ceiling. What was this one? Something that lets the soap drip down, or the wet sponge drip down. What's this one? A barrel that you can put plants in. A tool chest with like drawers. Practice pictures. A sliding help for him to work in the attic, I guess. A sunshade on the mower. A little trolley to hold some firewood. I don't know, an oil, a little jack, whatever you call it, a jack for your lawnmower to go up so it can drip oil. Recycling a log so that bicycles can park in it. Let's look at this one. Let's see this one. Something to help cut insulation in the roof to the correct length. Let's see, this one is somewhere to wrap cords with. Oh, and to put some tools inside. This one, he comes up with a system for storing some firewood. See, my grandfather probably kept these around, but the thing is, I don't have a place to put all my stuff. I just had to get rid of it. So here we have like this little phone machine thing. I don't know what this is. It's like a nails, collecting nails. There's another one. There's another one. And I think that's it. That's the last one. There might be one, another one under this one. Let me see. Another two. There's another one. I don't know if you've seen this one already. I don't think so. And there's that one. There you go. It's fun. Oh, and by the way, I just threw in Math 444 and Math 441. Ha! So that wasn't even all the homework for that section of years either. And I also threw out a Japanese folder too, another Japanese language. So, yep.